And now, it's time for another Dice Tower review with Ryan Metzler.
Hey everybody, Ryan Metzler here, and today we're going to be taking a look at Redneck Life, kindly provided by BoardGameExchange.com, where you can try games before you buy them. Redneck Life is basically the game of life, except for that in this game, instead of playing an up-and-coming well-doer family, you're playing a redneck. And the whole objective is to get to the end of the game while still having the most teeth. It's basically just rolling and moving, so now that I've given you a brief description, why don't we take a look at what comes inside the box, how the game plays, and what my thoughts are on it. So here you see the board for Redneck Life, and I understand you're not going to be able to see what all these spaces say, but basically they're just effects that happen whenever you land on that space. But importantly, what you start with is this sheet here. Every player will have one of these sheets, and this basically is going to outline what your character is for the game. And it's going to tell you your name, your occupation, how many kids you have, what your car's worth, how much income you make, and importantly, how many teeth you have remaining along the side here. And so everybody starts with 28 teeth, and certain effects throughout the game will cause you to lose them. Basically, these are going to be out of your control. It'll just happen when you land on something, but that's it. So at the beginning of the game, you're going to roll some dice. You'll roll these dice, and it says, let's see, if you're a man, you roll the red die, and on number 5, your first name is Bubba, and the blue die, your last name is Ray. So my character's name is Bubba Ray. And that's all on this chart here in the center of the table. And then each turn you're going to roll 2 dice, and you're going to move that many spaces. So if I'm blue, I'm going to move 10 spaces, and I'm going to do whatever it says on the space. And so in this case, I win a sack race at the Elks Lodge picnic, and I get $10, but I lose a tooth. So apparently I fell over and I lose a tooth, so already on my sheet I'm going to black out one of these teeth, and I'm 1 tooth down from everybody else, or 1 tooth down from everybody else. And essentially, you're going to keep going this way, rolling and moving until you hit certain things on the board. And so when you get to a stop spot, you have to stop, and at this point you're going to get your education, and you're going to get a job, and you're going to get a vehicle. And so the first thing you do is you look at one of these charts, and you do exactly what it tells you to do. So it says, to get an education and career, you roll 2 dice, and you'll note it on your score sheet. So I roll 2 dice, and I got a 6. And so 6 says that my career is going to be, I have a 6th grade education, and my career is a beer and bait mart clerk. Wonderful. And it tells me how much money I make. And then I'll go on to the next spot where I'll get married, and I'll get a house, and then I'll move on, and I'll have kids, or I'll get divorced. And I'll get a car and whatever. It's all dictated by these charts and by what you roll. You'll have to name all of your kids, so there's a little bit of theme there, but essentially all you want to do is get to the end and have more teeth left than all of your opponents. And you can lose teeth by going negative in money and all sorts of things. So whoever gets to the end with the most teeth left wins. So for any of you that have played the game of life, this game's going to sound very familiar. You get a job, you get a house, you get a car, you have kids, and essentially you're trying to get to the end in life with the most money, or in this game with the most teeth. There's really very little different about the 2 games. This one uses dice as opposed to a spinner, but in essentiality this is a re-theme of life. The game really doesn't offer much unless you're looking for a roll and move. It does have a little bit of a humor factor in some of the things that happen. Obviously you're losing teeth. It's kind of fun to name your kids silly redneck things, but really not a great game. This isn't one that I would suggest anybody going and trying out, but if you liked the review and you liked what you saw, go ahead and try it anyway. Who am I to tell you what to do? To try this title and over 800 others before you buy them, check out BoardGameExchange.com.
Thanks for joining us today. For more written, audio, and video reviews, as well as the #1 board game podcast, check out the website at www.thedicetower.com. Until then, this is Eric Summerer, and you've been watching The Dice Tower.
Yeah?